what basis?
Well, I studied us as a people. I interviewed black men and black women across the country. See, Phil, the problem we have here is one of behavior, interpretation, and definition. 99% of the black men say my book is true. We can't dismiss that, no matter what we think about it.
Well, 99% you're talking about.
I don't see...
The poll that I've taken out of my book...
Well, I don't see where the fact of where she got the information has anything to do with the validity in the statement. And what I hear constantly is, where do you get your data? Is the information incorrect? If it's incorrect, then I think then you need to examine where it came from. But if it's not,
sounds
then
like
why?
You agree with the book.
Well, I do agree with a lot of the statements made in the book. But what I'm addressing now is what she said.
Yeah. You're upset at the challenge to her authority.
Well, I mean, I don't see where the question has any importance to what's going on.
Okay, hang on one second. Yes, ma'am.
I'm just wondering, how did the white women's liberation movement hurt you? You mentioned that earlier.
Well, it did, because prior to that time, we were standing with our men and our children, trying to make a way for our families and get what we thought we deserved here in the form of equality and opportunity. But once we got on your side, then it made it appear as if we were just with women against men. That was because of the argument that you all had with the white man, which is not our business. I'm trying to deal with this.
Yes, sir.
As she said, in the 60s, a lot of black women were pulled away from the black liberation struggle by white women who said, we as women have suffered a common oppression, which is gender-specific. Little attention was paid to the fact that white women have benefited and been active participants in the oppression.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you think that everybody has their own choice as a person, which way they want to go, as far as
we had one before y'all brought us here as slaves. We used to have choices.
I don't think it has anything to do with the way the white woman is. Maybe that we had it better off, and you thought, wait, if you come to our side...
Well, certainly you had it better off.
It was,
you have
but
it better
it was our
off
choice.
now. You have benefited
and now the black women, they like the way we live, and they want to live the same way.
And
but it has nothing to do with...
tell us that would lead to separation and loneliness, and that's what it did.
But it was your choice. It was your choice as a woman. It's your choice as a woman, which way you want to go. You want to come to our side?
To come here.
You come to our side. It's your choice.
Sir.
Essentially, when I read the book, it said that the black man was the one that was supposed to develop the black woman. Now, I'd like to know, no matter how much the black woman is developed or submissive to the black man, how does that make him feel any more a man or put him in any better position than he is now?
We have to rebuild our men. We have to try to help give him confidence. As a mother and the first teacher, we are in a position to do that. God made a man and a woman so that they could complement each other in each nationality. So we have to help rebuild our men. That's something that we do out of love.
Over here, Miss Ali.
You know, your book is very destructive. I've read Hakeem's book. I've read your book. Hakeem's book is about black men and women being complementary to each other, loving each other, supporting each other, dealing with the weaknesses and the strengths and the positiveness. And his book is instructional. It's not a read-through, it's a study. It's not a destruction, it's a manual for African-American men and women and children. All I have heard from you is negativity. This is what I call the black man's guide to misunderstanding the black woman.
Well, what we have...
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I want to just go back to the question of your research, because I think that whoever said that research was not important, I think that is totally erroneous. And it would be let me finish. And it would be unprincipled of you not to state clearly and precisely where you did get your data. And the other question I have for you is, are you saying then that submission and cooperation are one and the same? Because I would like to know that.
Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm saying that. And yes. And now in regard to what you said before about my research, as I said, I've gone over that over and over. We have a situation where I am trying to teach our people that we have lost the principles and values that we came here with. The use of bibliography and footnotes is very recent history, only about 300 years. So that's not our standard. That's not our practice. That's one that the white people have set up because of their distrust. I don't have any responsibility to follow any of the rules you all follow. I am trying to give us a new set of rules of how we can be successful. Our educated class has failed us.
We are in New York City talking about one of the most controversial books since Salman Rushdie wrote one. The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Shahrazad Ali, its author, and we'll be back to let this audience in just a moment.
I'm from the Shrine of Ptah, and in the study of our ancient Nile Valley culture, which is the first culture established by African people, we find a system of complementary balance between the male and female. Because most of the African people in the diaspora grow up under the Shemitic system of patriarchal systems, we have lost our way. We need to get back into the African system of the equal balance.
Are you there, caller? I'm glad you waited. Hi, go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead. I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, okay, all right. What I quickly want to say is the fact that I believe that this book has become a more divisive tool between the black man and the black woman than more of making a black man understand what a black woman is all about. Number two, she still has not told us where she's gotten the data from. I'd like to ask Sister Ali, where did you get your data from? What age group of men did you speak to? What cities did you go to? We still haven't had that question answered
All
yet.
right. Miss Ali, commenting.
I interviewed 379 black men who were either married to or dating white women. I interviewed over 100 black women who were either married or dating black women, and over 1,000, nearly 1,200 black men and black women around the country. But what I found is that we don't have a control group. There was no point in me listing everybody's name in the back of the book. What was y'all going to do, call them all up? The point is that by putting their names, you know, by not including that, then what I'm trying to say is that we have a collective problem that affects all of the people. There was no point in doing that.
Haki Madhubuti, editor, publisher, Third World Press, one of the oldest black publishing houses in the country. You are an educator, sir, director of the Institute of Positive Education. You've written 16 books yourself. The latest of which is titled, certainly to the point, Black Men, Obsolete, Single, Dangerous? A question mark follows. He was also, you've also published the rebuttal to the Black Men's Guide called Confusion by Any Other Name. Here's your answer to Miss Ali's book.
Well, everybody's trying to benefit.
You'll make your case, sir, and I know you'll do so as briefly as possible.
You know, it's,
Please give the gentleman your attention.
it's rough when ignorant people talk about how ignorant other people are. I think that Miss Ali has misstated the case. Her book is not political. It's ahistorical. About every page in the book blames black women. She does not go to the book to read from the book because the book is inaccurate. Everything from telling the woman's brain is smaller than the black man's brain, that essentially the male violence is okay within the context of the home, that I think we have to begin to realize that if Fannie Lou Hamer had this book, if Sojourner Truth had this book, if Harriet Tubman, or any of our great women who have essentially led us to freedom had this book, they would throw it away. That the content of the book is not developmental. The content of the book is divisive. Everything from the language that she uses. I mean, she used savage in the book 27 times. It's just one example, calling black women savages. I think it's very clear that we live in a world that is ruled by men, no doubt about that. It is a world that is ruled primarily by white men. Okay. Now the world is not working. It is not working. And anytime you hold down one half of the species, it's not going to work. I'm saying now, since the world it's to go backwards 100 years to say that now the black man must enslave black women in order for us to develop.
We're not talking
It's absolutely
slavery,
that's what you're talking about.
We're not talking slavery.
May I share with this audience just one excerpt
Some
from...
people are into denial. Phil, don't go to the back of the book. Let's start in the front.
Well,
I know what you're going to do.
what am
Now,
I
you
going
know
to do?
I know by now.
Tell me what I'm going to do. What am I going to read? Am I going to read?
Read from the book. Read from the book. Go ahead. See yourself.
Analyzing the options available to the black man when the black woman's mouth becomes uncontrollably disrespectful. They total only a few. 1, he can walk away, leave the house, get drunk. 2, he can go out, go to his other woman and complain. 3, he can quit the relationship, leave the woman. 4, he can try to argue back and lose.